Okay, so let's watch another video. It's a song. I hope you enjoy it, inshallah. And we'll discuss it together, inshallah. Okay. Bismillah. Yes. Tell me when you can hear the sound. Okay? What is the name of the song? You Raise Me Up. Okay.
Celine Dion دي ولا ايه؟
I don't know. Josh Groban.
Troubles come and my heart doesn't beat, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit right with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats it perfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
So did you like the song?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think is this song for? You Raise Me Up.
Teachers,
Maybe teachers, maybe what?
Friends.
parents,
Maybe parents, yeah, maybe parents. Okay, and who is
or
always,
friends.
or maybe friends who are always supporting and giving their hands to us? Who is always by our shoulders supporting and giving everything to us to who we are to who we can be? Who is the first and the most stronger or the strongest
Allah.
supporter for all of
Allah.
us? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the real supporter and the first one who always supports us. So we can be more stronger by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we can become more stronger when we believe that we can do everything. We can climb the mountains, we can go to go very far and deep in the seas, when we believe in ourselves and when we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always supporting us. And also when we believe our dear beloved parents, friends, maybe colleagues, can support us as well. Okay, so I'm so glad you like the video, and it's a pronunciation time. I'll share a short video. I hope you'll enjoy it, inshallah, about pronunciation as usual, to also refresh our minds. So are you ready for a pronunciation video? It's for Mike's, okay? Mike's workshop. Are you ready? Okay. I think Mike.
Yes, we're ready. We're ready.
I don't hear anyone. Okay, I can't see.
I
so
put the
feel-
mic away, so I takes time
Yes, okay.
to unmute.
Okay, this is American English. It's also about pronunciation. It's about linking. I hope you'll enjoy it, inshallah. Okay, let's watch it together.
Hello, I'm Sammy, and this is part 3 of the Connected Speech series. Connected speech is used when you're speaking quickly and casually, and it helps your American English sound more natural. Today, we'll discuss linking. Linking means combining the sounds from the end of one word to the beginning of the next word. American English speakers naturally link sounds together to avoid pauses in fluid speech. So practicing linking can help your American English sound more fluent. There are
So why is linking important? Why is it important to link some words together?
To avoid
To avoid-
pauses in
To be
connected speech.
fluent.
Yes, to be more fluent and to avoid pauses and to be authentic or natural. Okay, let's see the types of linking.
two main types of linking: consonant-vowel linking and vowel-vowel linking.
How many types of linking? How many
Two
types?
types.
Two
Consonant
types. The
vowel.
first one is consonant
vowel.
vowel. The second, vowel.
Vowel.
Okay, let's see together.
Consonant-vowel linking occurs when one word ends with a consonant sound and the next word begins with a vowel sound. When this happens, we pronounce the words as if the consonant sound has moved from the end of the first word to the beginning of the next word. For example, look up is pronounced look up. Turn on the light becomes turn on the light. That's an umbrella becomes that's an umbrella. Vowel-vowel linking occurs when one word ends in a vowel sound and the next word begins with a vowel. You add a y sound or a w sound in between the vowel sound at the end of the first word and the vowel at the beginning of the second word. So how do you know whether to add a y or a w? Let's find out. If a word ends in the sounds e, I, a, I, or oi, and the next word begins with the vowel, the two words are linked with a y sound. For example,
So when do we link with the y sound? When do we link the two sounds, two vowels together? When do we link with the y sound? When the first vowel ends in what?
Oi,
Yes,
I,
E,
E.
E, yeah,
E.
and oi.
Or yeah.
So it's important here to know when to link with ya and when to link with wa sound, okay?
Stay out is pronounced like stay out. Linking words with ya happens even if there isn't a y in the spelling. He asked is pronounced like he asked. Sigh of relief is sigh of relief. If a word ends in the sounds oo, o, or ow, and the next word begins with the vowel, then the two words are linked with w. For example, how are you is pronounced like how are you. Again, linking words with the w sound happens even if there isn't a w letter in the spelling. For example, go inside is pronounced like go inside. Two other people becomes two other people. Let's practice. Pay attention to the underlined words in the following story and practice using consonant-vowel linking and vowel-vowel linking. Press pause at each screen to go at your own pace.
You can practice now and read.
Can you read back?
Yes. Okay, you can read it, okay? Her friends chanted, do it, eat it, eat it. Yeah, okay. So I can pause and you can practice and check together, okay? So let's practice. Yes.
The entire pizza by herself,
Yeah.
and they all cheered. Yes.
Okay.
Sammy met her friends at the outdoor cafe. Can I have a slice of pizza? Sammy asked. They ordered the food, but when it arrived, Sammy got a whole pizza, not just a slice. Her friends chanted, do it, eat it. Sammy ate the entire pizza by herself and they all cheered. That's it for now. Next time, we'll practice T and D tapping.
Okay, so I hope you like this video and let's come to the most important one for today, okay? How many time is left, Noha? How much time, sorry? Okay, this is, I think, the most important one. It's from Oxford.
In
English.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ollie. Welcome to Oxford Online English. In this lesson, you can learn about weak forms in English. Weak forms are a really important pronunciation point. Learning about weak forms can help your speaking, of course, but it can also make a big difference to your English listening. Let's see how. Listen to a sentence. I gave her a box of chocolates for her birthday. So, what are weak forms? Some words have two possible pronunciations. For example, think about the word for in this sentence. If you just read the word by itself, you'll probably say for. However, in the sentence, its pronunciation is different. It becomes fa. So, the word for has a weak form. Its pronunciation changes. This isn't just because we're saying it very fast. It has a different sound, instead of or. Can you see any other weak forms in our sentence? Her, and of are also weak. Try it. Read the sentence. Try to pronounce the weak forms. I gave her a box of chocolates for her birthday.
Try to read it. Can you read it?
So, some words
Can you read it?
I
With the
gave her a
weak
box
form?
of chocolate for her birthday.
Excellent. So the ra sound is not pronounced here, and the 4 prepositions and indefinite articles, they are or they have weak forms. Okay. Thank you, Nahak. Okay.
have 2 possible pronunciations. So becomes fa. So the word for has a weak form. Its pronunciation changes. This isn't just because we're saying it very fast. It has a different sound, instead of or. Can you see any other weak forms in our sentence? Her, and of are also weak. Try it. Read the sentence. Try to pronounce the weak forms. I gave her a box of chocolates for her birthday. So, do all words have weak forms? No, there are many words which have weak forms, but not all words do. In this lesson, you'll see which words have weak forms, when to use them, and how to pronounce them correctly. Words which have weak forms are often grammar words. Words which carry the main meaning of a sentence don't usually have weak forms. That means most nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs don't have weak forms. Prepositions like to, for, as, of, or at have weak forms. Pronouns like you, your, that, or their can have weak forms. Some conjunctions like and or but can also have weak forms. Also, auxiliary verbs often have weak forms. That means words like do, does, was, would, can, are, and so on. Lots of information, I know. Let's do some examples. Look at a sentence. Are you coming to the cinema with us tomorrow? There are 5 weak forms in this sentence. Can you find them? Listen
Yes.
one more time. Are you coming to the cinema with us tomorrow?
Okay. What are they?
Yes,
5 weak forms.
You
Yes.
and to with
You, to, the,
with
us, and also maybe
With.
or as an auxiliary. Okay. Let's check. Okay.
Can you hear where the weak forms are? The weak forms are, which is pronounced you, which becomes ya, to, which is pronounced ta, the is almost always weak, but it is technically a weak form, the. And finally, us is weak. It becomes us. So, you can see that the weak forms are the auxiliary verb, are, the pronouns, you, us, and the preposition, to. Also, do you notice anything about the pronunciation of the weak forms? In all of the weak forms, you can see this sound, This sound, the schwa, is common in weak forms. Almost all weak forms have a schwa sound. Let's do one more example for practice. Listen to another sentence. What does he do at the weekends? Can you hear the weak forms? If not, can you guess which words are weak here? Listen one more time. What does he do at the weekends? Does is weak. It's pronounced does.
He.
At is also weak. It becomes at.
The.
The is weak, as before, the. So here's a question. Why is does weak, but do is not? It's because does is an auxiliary verb. It's just there to make a question. It doesn't add any meaning to the sentence. Do is the main verb. It carries meaning. Words which carry meaning have their full pronunciation and won't be weak. Again, you can see that all of the weak forms have the schwa sound, There are many more weak forms, but the number of words with weak forms is limited. Depending on how you define weak form, there are maybe 30 to 60 words which have weak pronunciations. For now, remember the general idea. Grammar words like prepositions, pronouns, and auxiliary verbs often have weak forms. Okay, so now you know a bit about weak forms, but when should you use them? In an English sentence, some words are pronounced with more stress than others. Generally, the words which carry the main meaning are stressed, while grammar words like prepositions, pronouns, and so on are not stressed. Words which are not stressed can be weak forms. For example, how long have you been waiting here? Can you hear which words are stressed? The words how, long, and waiting are stressed. How long have you been waiting here? The unstressed words can be weak. Have and you have weak forms. They're pronounced together. You say, uvya. Been and here aren't stressed, but these words don't have weak forms, so the pronunciation stays the same. Let's do one more example. I could have done more if I'd had more time. Which words are stressed here? And the opposite of a weak form is a strong form. You know that weak forms depend on sentence stress. However, sentence stress is not fixed. Sentence stress depends on the situation and the exact ideas you're trying to express. Let's look at an example you saw before. How long have you been waiting here? We said that in this sentence, the stressed words would normally be how, long, and waiting. However, imagine you're talking to several people. You ask the question to one person, but a different person answers. You ask person A, but person B thinks you're talking to him, and he answers instead. So you ask the question again to person A. This time, it sounds different. How long have you been waiting here? Why does it sound different? And what is the difference? This time, you're emphasizing the word you because you want to make it clear who you're talking to. That means that you is pronounced with its full pronunciation, you. Let's do one more example. We'll look at another sentence from before. Are you coming to the cinema with us tomorrow? Normally, the stressed words would be coming, cinema, and tomorrow. However, imagine that you thought your friend wasn't coming. Someone had told you that she was busy and she couldn't come with you. So now, when you ask the question, it sounds different. Are you coming to the cinema with us tomorrow? This time, you emphasize the word are because you thought your friend couldn't come and you're showing surprise. So, if you want to emphasize a word, you should use the strong form. Strong forms have the full pronunciation. Emphasis depends on meaning. So, the same word in the same sentence can be pronounced differently in different situations. There's one more rule. The last word of a sentence can never be weak. For example, what are you looking at? The stressed words here are what and looking. Are and you are weak. They're pronounced aya. At has a weak form and it's not stressed in this sentence. However, the last word of a sentence can't be weak. That means at gets its full pronunciation, at. Now, hopefully you understand what weak forms are, when to use them, and when not to use them. So, let's do some practice. First, look at 3 sentences. Think about which words will be stressed and which words will be weak forms. Pause the video and think about it if you need more time. Next, I'll read the sentences. Listen for stressed words and weak forms. Were your ideas right? Does she really think she should do it? What did you do to your hair? What were you doing when she called you? Let's look together. Does she really think she should do it? Here, really, think and do are stressed. Does and should are weak. Try saying the sentence with the stress and weak forms. Repeat after me. Does she really think she should do it?
Does she really think she should do it?
Try once more, a little faster. Does she really think she should do it? How was that? Can you pronounce the weak forms correctly? One important point. Weak forms are always connected to the words before and after. So, does needs to be joined to she. Does she? Should needs to be pronounced together with she and do. She should do. Let's look at our next sentence. What did you do to your hair? Here, what, do, and hair are stressed. You, to, and your are weak. Try saying the sentence with the stress and weak forms. Repeat after me. What did you do to your hair?
What did you do to your hair?
Let's try again, at natural speed. What did you do to your hair?
What did you do to your hair?
What did you do to your hair?
Okay, let's look at our last sentence. What were you doing when she called you? Here, what, doing, and called are stressed. Were and you are weak. The you on the end is not stressed, but not weak either, because it's the last word of the sentence. Try saying the sentence with the stress and weak forms. Repeat after me. What were you doing when she called you?
What were you doing when she called you?
Let's try again, at natural speed. What were you doing when she called you? Remember, if you want more practice, you can review this section and try as many times as you need to. Okay, hopefully you've learned something new about weak forms and English pronunciation. Check out our website for more free lessons like this, oxfordonlineenglish.com.
Okay, so when do we use the weak forms? When do we use weak forms?
With
Can you tell
the
me?
prepositions, pronouns, articles, and maybe some conjunctions in words, and auxiliary verbs.
Excellent, Amani. Yes, Hasna? Yes?
Yeah, auxiliary verbs with the weak forms like preposition the, as you
Yes.
said, just like
But
completely with the auxiliary.
sometimes when some prepositions or pronouns come at the end of the questions or sentences, are they weak or strong forms at the end?
No, it's strong.
Yeah.
Again?
So when we talk about weak forms, there is no fixed rule for weak or strong forms. It depends on where the situation, yes, and the speaker, who are you talking to, and at the same time, is it a content word or grammar word? And we always focus and stress that if it's a content word, so it's stressed and a strong form, of course. And if it is not a content word, it is not stressed or weak form. But again, we assure that Weak forms or strong forms depends on two important points. Who are we talking to? The speaker. So it differs here to either to choose or to make it a weak or a strong form. Also, it depends on is it at the beginning or at the end of the sentence, because the word at the end of the sentence or at the end of the question is always stressed, okay? I think that this session will end right now. I'll meet you again in the after it ends. I can give you 2 minutes break, and after that we'll start again, okay? So before it ends, okay, can you tell me how many topics of pronunciation did we take till now? Do you remember? Do you remember which topics did we tackle or we dealt with till now? Do you remember the topics of pronunciation?
Yes, about
We talk about connected speech,
Yes, connected speech, link.
and we have two linking of words.
Yes, linking, only linking, and the weak
Two
forms.
linking, two.
connected
Yes,
speech.
2 types of linking. Okay, what about the previous sessions? Do you remember what have we learned so far?
I didn't attend, unfortunately.
The previous ones, many you have attended. Do you remember? We have dealt with stress, intonation, weak forms, silent letters, vowel sounds, and when two vowels come together. Do you remember? Okay. Sahar has asked for some teaching approaches on the WhatsApp group. So our topic for today, inshallah, will be about the teaching approaches or teaching methodologies. What do you think about teaching methodologies or the methods of teaching English? Why do we use different methods in teaching?
We have different learning styles, different contents, different characters and topics.